Hello, welcome to the Football Friends podcast. I'm joined here this week by Paddy.
Hello, how you doing?
Yeah, no Ash this week. It's just us two, but that's all good. We'll just go for a run through the league. We've had two match days actually in this
double trouble.
Yeah, midweek football. Yeah.
Let's start top of the table. Should we do both of their games at once, or? Yeah, let's do that. Top of the table is obviously Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
And their first game was with your boys.
Yeah. So Carrick's got a pretty good record for his tenure at Man U, I got to say.
Michael Carrick.
Yeah, Michael Carrick. Yeah, undefeated by top 6 teams, and
undefeated.
And then, undefeated entirely, 100% undefeated.
Yeah.
Entire career. And, so it just goes to show you, you can study under the top German football coaches and whatnot forever and manage Chelsea for a few years. And a coach who's only ever managed 2 games can still probably deserve to win the game.
Still can't beat Carrot.
Yeah.
So, am I right in thinking, I know we're jumping a little bit ahead, am I right in thinking that Rangnick is going to take charge of the Arsenal game?
Yes, he's been appointed now.
So he's official?
Yes, Rangnick has been signed now. That's a whole big thing we could go into, but... we'll talk about the era of Michael Carrick first.
Era is very, very strong.
Well, I have a lot to say on the Chelsea Man U game.
Okay, well, let's start with that.
Well, I think we deserve to win.
I can't say that. God, we've had 2 rounds of football now, and I don't know if I can remember it all. I know that Sancho scored.
Yes, so actually that's the thing.
A nice goal.
Sancho scored his first goal in the Champions League for our club in the last week, and then now he has scored his second goal, his first Premier League goal, and it's against Chelsea. Very good. That's
can't argue with that.
He breaks through. Jorginho makes a mistake and he capitalises on it. Breaks through 1-on-1 with Mendy, and Rashford's perfectly there for the sweaty, but no, doesn't care.
Man don't sweat.
Need it.
Man don't want no sweat.
Puts it in there as calm as you like.
I think
huge dick energy.
I think you missed a bit out there. He wants to be known by his full title, 3rd best player in the world, Jorginho.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 3rd best players in the world don't make schoolboy mistakes. Right. That was a bad mistake.
Well, maybe he'll be 5th next year.
Yeah. And then, so the game itself, though, I mean, the first half, I'd say Chelsea probably won the first half. They were pretty good. They held the ball a lot, but didn't really do too much with it. Hudson-Odoi had his chance in the first half, which was pretty good. It looked dangerous, but just wide. So that was about it, though. I didn't really see. They had a lot of corners.
Looking at the stats, they've got 2/3 possession.
Yeah, but again, they didn't really do much with it.
That is kind of a Chelsea thing, right? Like
we didn't look bothered. That was kind of the thing. We knew we weren't gonna.
Well, that's
carry. We knew we weren't going to carry the ball that whole game. That's why Carrick played 3 DMs. That's it. So Tuchel, he was like, okay, so Tuchel's famous for playing
3 defenders,
2 DMs, two sixes. So he's like, well, I'll play 3. So then he played Fred, Matic, and Scott McTominay in the midfield.
It's
but that's
as far as midfielders go, it's quite conservative, isn't it?
Well, that's probably the perfect choice for Chelsea.
Yeah, I don't knock it. Because in terms of going to Stamford Bridge and trying to get a point, what do you have to say?
Well, we deserve 3.
I think it's, again, like I said,
we'll get onto it soon. Don't worry.
I haven't I can't remember enough of the game, but I remember that United's shots on target, was it just 2?
Yeah, well, when we scored the goal, that was our first shot on target.
And Chelsea's, I mean, I know the goal was from a penalty, but they had quite a number more.
Not really. None of them were very threatening shots.
Well, XG.
Well, I haven't actually looked at the XG. Damn it. I missed out. Yeah, true. We'll have to do next episode. We'll talk about the XG stats. I've found a great website. I'll show you next time.
Okay, cool.
But anyway, honestly, the game just looked real 50-50. We were totally up for it. They didn't really threaten us, and kind of we were, each other's foil for most of the game.
Yeah.
And then, but then, this penalty was... No.
I seem to remember it being a bit jammy.
What it is Wan-Bissaka is making a clearance, and Thiago Silva sticks his foot in the way, and gets kicked. Doesn't make contact with the ball, but sticks his foot in the way of Wan-Bissaka's boot. But then it's like what happens is his toe, Wan-Bissaka's toe clears the ball, but then this part of his foot
hits
collides Thiago Silva
at the same time.
So then they say that's a penalty, but it's like if anything, that's Thiago Silva coming in late on Wan-Bissaka. I don't get it. And the other part of it too is when they VAR'd it, they were like, "We are now checking to make sure everything leading up to it was fine." And they totally missed the part where the original corner comes off Thiago Silva, and and it's not even there.
Agent Silva.
Yeah, what a load of shit, man! It was like football theatrics. It's like FIFA pulling the strings in that one.
If we're gonna give one Chelsea man more credit than what Chelsea deserve, though, that man will be Thiago Silva. I find it very difficult to dislike him.
I don't like him.
Well, yeah, I'm sure you don't in this moment because you're being a petty bastard.
Well, I wanted to win, and he didn't want that to happen.
Yeah, he's a defender. That's kind of his like modus operandi, right?
Yeah, but they didn't deserve it. That's what I'm saying. We deserved to win that game. That penalty. No. But whatever. Okay, I'll settle for Chelsea got lucky. And we probably deserved to win that, but that's still good. Everyone thought we'd lose this match. Well, actually, I don't know about that.
I did.
Everyone was like, Michael Carrick's got this. Like,
I definitely did. Look, I didn't know what to think about Michael Carrick. But he's been stuck in the vegetable drawer for most of this time. And
he hadn't had time. Now he's been sprouted.
Yeah.
He's just been pulled out of the ground.
Yeah, he's just been pulled out of the ground. And look, we've got to peel him first and maybe grate him up a bit before we know what he's all about.
Mm. But the other side of that is, in our last 8 meetings with Chelsea in the league, we've never been defeated.
Haven't been beaten.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And last season it was 2-0 all draws.
Yeah.
So I when I think about it though, upon thinking about this after the match, I realised that the attributes of our squad may be a natural counter to how Chelsea sets up.
To Chelsea. Because
Chelsea's the main weakness of Chelsea is they push so high up the pitch that if you have 3 super fast forwards, that's how you score on them on the counter attack.
Like quick counter attack.
Because their defenders push right up to the outside of the box.
Yeah.
And it's funny the centre backs go ahead of Jorginho, and then he sits as the last man. Yeah. And then but what I've actually noticed is, Rudiger seems to I don't know, maybe he's gotten faster or maybe I just didn't notice, but. Dude, he gassed Jadon Sancho every single time in that game.
I think he's always
fast.
I think he's always been quick.
Yeah.
And
very
for
athletic.
Whatever reason, when he was playing under Lampard, he just didn't want to run. I Maybe Lampard fed him too much chocolate.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Now that the way they play, he gets into the box. That's the thing. So he has this freedom, and he has the space to sprint top speed now. So, I think that's the thing. We're always going to do well against Chelsea just because we have all of our forwards are really fast.
Yeah, that's true. And being sort of setting yourself up to counter against that will often lead to, one, low scoring, and two, if it's low scoring, there's a higher chance it's going to be a draw, just on law of statistics. So, that having been said, that point having been made, that kind of makes sense.
If that penalty hadn't happened, everyone would have been screaming Michael Carrick masterclass. Plays 3 DMs.
Veggie master.
And then fast boys. And they're like, football genius.
3 DMs and the fast boys.
Yeah, easy. So then, because that's it, we just 3 DMs to soak up all of the pressure off the ball because we're not going to have it. And then as soon as we get it, counter-attack with our fast guys.
Kick it to Sancho.
And that's exactly what worked.
Yeah. The Fast and the Furious?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, okay.
Yeah.
No, he didn't play. It was Alex Tellers.
Is Luke Shaw furious?
Sometimes.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, I like what I saw. I think that's good. That's the thing. Michael Carrick should be assistant manager or something, man. He seems to have.
Well, he's going to sort of be the assistant, right?
Well,
he's going to be there and thereabouts. I'm sure
he definitely should be because he's already shown that he knows he at least knows what he's doing. And that's kind of the thing. I think maybe the combination of him and Rangnick could work because we might as well just go on to this now. Rangnick has signed for the club, but the main concern I've been seeing from a lot of people, and I agree with this, is we don't really have the players that suit his style.
His gegenpress, because he's like the father of gegenpress is what you called him to me.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Our players aren't necessarily those kind of players. And that's going to take a bit of getting used to. But I see that as something as if he achieves that'll add a whole nother level to our game, which would we're already managing to do quite well without pressing. So if we were pressing, what are you going to fucking do?
I think without actually knowing as much as I would like to about Rangnick, what I see is a guy who's got tactical nous, a cool head on his shoulders. He understands football, and he understands how to step into teams who are not necessarily the best in the league. Who did he manage in Germany? Hoffenheim, Leipzig.
No, but the thing is, he brought all of those clubs up to where they were.
Precisely.
Including when Leipzig got second and shit,
Yeah, that's precisely my point. He's capable of making a team better than the sum of their parts, or at least, perform above where they are. And with the parts that United have, there's no reason that can't, spell trouble for other teams in the league. Yeah.
There's a few more things to it though, right?
Of course.
From what I understand is he's not he doesn't run training.
Right.
He's not one of those coaches. He's he's more of a philosophy guy, a club vision guy, So that's the thing. He's not. We may be still delegating to our regular attacking style. He's just kind of there for tips on how to kind of
philosophy, tactical,
something like that. Because he's not going to be, from what I see, he won't be running training.
Motivation? Is he sort of does he talk to the players much, or is he kind of hands off?
Well, no, it's all about instilling this philosophy of playing a particular way.
Yeah,
the German gegenpress style, because. Well, what I, looking into this, it's very fascinating, the amount of effort and resources that are invested into coaching in Germany. They actually treat it like it's a real fucking job and not just like a joke like they do in England. And it's you don't get paid at all. In Germany, it's a job. Like it's like an apprenticeship. You get paid like the whole time.
Yeah.
And no, you take psychology courses. You take you go on all these seminars and coaching, and like it's extremely rigorous.
Whereas, in England, you're the whipping boy. You're unless you are, the best coach, and like unless you're Gareth Southgate, then you're pushed around from pillar to post, and it's
So that's kind of the thing. So he is the godfather of all of that in Germany. So he is going to bring the essence of that entire philosophy and idea into the club, and I think that's good.
Yeah,
we could do with that.
When you link that with, Mr. Carrick, who knows the club and has been with the club for 12 years,
his whole life. Yeah, so that's but that's what I'm saying. That's why I think Carrick needs to be assistant manager.
Yes,
to have
definitely needs to be in his ear.
Mm-hmm. So that's good. But the big issue is, I think it means we're going to miss out. We can't really use one of either Ronaldo or Maguire. We'll probably not make it because the main one of the main parts of the philosophy is the high line, the high press, like the high back line, and Maguire doesn't do that.
Yeah.
If you look at every game when Maguire plays, he sits deep. Like that's actually and when you think about it, that's probably a problem here, is we have to sit deep because Maguire's slow.
Yeah.
If anything, we have to build our team around that.
Yeah. And when a dude like Harry Maguire, good defender, don't get me wrong, but he's not having the best of times right now. And when a guy is not having the best of times, do you want to build your team around him? That's not, or like around his weakness, so to speak.
It's just more. It's that's what I'm saying. The problem is because Ronaldo doesn't press, right? Everyone's saying like, oh, that's Ronaldo done, because Rangnick's going to be like, either you press or you're gone, like that. That's what everyone's saying. But the thing is, Ronaldo doesn't press because we don't have a high line.
Yeah.
If we have a high line and Ronaldo's right up in the defender's face the whole game, he will press.
Yeah.
And the only way we can do that is if Maguire's out. And we have more mobile centre-backs, like Varane and, say, Bailly, if he wasn't so injury-prone, to push high. So
what you're saying is Rangnick should sign a mobile centre-back in January.
Something like that. But I just think that is a embedded flaw in the squad at the moment. We have to make this decision.
Yeah. Well, that's it is what it is, right? When your squad's a whole lot better going into a sort of period of rough transition than a lot of teams when say like when Klopp took over, our squad was half good, half garbage. And many of his players were not fit for his gegenpress.
Yeah, for sure. It took ages.
It took a long time. A lot of faith, and a lot of, falling at the final hurdle.
Yeah.
Which, brings me to what I always say in these sort of conversations. Clubs need to give managers longer. They just do. Like, if you hire a guy and then 9 months later he's the wrong guy, you hired the wrong guy and it's your fault. Any
but who are you talking about now?
Any doesn't matter. Nuno.
Okay, yeah.
It would it's not about a specific manager, but look at Nuno.
No, but it sounds like you're making the argument like Solskjaer should stay. that's what it sounds like you're
no.
leading into.
If anything, my argument is that Solskjaer should have gone.
But then now that contradicts what you're saying right now.
No, because he'd had long enough.
Oh, I mean, but again, and then it's worse because you started with Jurgen Klopp, and when you compare statistics, they have about exactly the same record. So
yeah, with completely different spends and squads.
It's not much different.
The spending is very different. Liverpool have a profit.
But we have more like resources. Like you know what I'm saying. Like either way, I think when you counterbalance Ollie's like level of ability and stuff like that, I think it's about exactly the same.
When you counterbalance a worse manager with a better one and say that and give him way more money.
Well, no, but I don't actually have to counterbalance anything because the record is the same. You're the one saying the record doesn't matter. Like
I'm not saying the record doesn't matter.
That's what you are saying. Yeah, that's what you're trying to say. You're saying the record is irrelevant because Klopp didn't have as many resources, blah blah. And then my argument is it balances out because of that.
I'm not saying the record doesn't matter. I never said the record doesn't matter.
You're trying to discount it. You're trying to dismiss it. You're just like, no, Klopp's better because he had less, blah blah. But I'm saying no, they're about the same. And your argument was more faith needs to be put into coaches and. Like so, if they had the same idea like they done with Klopp, maybe it could have worked out.
Well, yeah, coaches who improve.
He has immensely improved.
Yeah. We
were second last season.
Yeah. Okay, and he didn't improve this season.
It's only the start of the season.
I agree.
Yeah,
and it's been. I've seen enough.
I mean, it's just. Yeah, they have patches. Like that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, but you just sound like you're just completely contradicting yourself right now.
Maybe I do.
Yeah.
Maybe my brain's asleep. Maybe it's just United, and I'm just like,
yeah.
Fuck them.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You know, I don't know. I think my brain is asleep. That's fine.
I'll remove my axe out of the back of your head now.
No, put it in the front next time. All right, so let's continue. Let's continue down the table.
Yeah, we can move on. We sort of much talked that one out. So, so thanks for joining us on the podcast this week. I'm just kidding.
Let's do Norwich and just stop. No. So I think we were second going in. We're second now, so let's go to us. Since we left, we've scored 8 goals.
That's good.
we even managed to concede one. To Damari Gray, but let's start with the.
Well, yeah, it was just a bit clumsy. I think like Trent probably could have done better there, but
funny you say that. Part of the game managed to occur on my break at work. I sat down with a friend of mine who's also a Liverpool fan. We watched for about 10 seconds, and Mo Salah scored. And then down the other end of the pitch, Damari Gray sort of dribbled around Trent, bit of quick feet, in and out, and we kind of agreed on the spot, like that's the matchup that if I was worried about the game at all, that's the matchup I'd be worried about. And then he scored about 15 minutes after that. And yeah, I agree. Trent's defensive capabilities are good. He's certainly bulked out and improved. But if he was only in the right back position on his defensive duties, he wouldn't be in the right back position. He wouldn't be in the team.
Oh, dude, Trent's an attacker.
Trent is a midfielder. In the youth team, he played centre mid and right mid.
Yeah,
he didn't go near the right back.
You guys play a back 3, as far as I'm concerned.
Even Robertson.
Yeah, back 2.
Yeah, it's a back 2. We play a 2-5-3.
Yeah, pretty much.
And even it's just a 10. What position you playing? 10. Football.
Yeah, But yeah, so 4-0 is pretty comprehensive on Southampton.
Yeah.
And then 4-1 again. So
yeah, looking at Everton, I think they're about 14th, 15th, and they haven't won any of their last 6. I think the only one in there that I can remember was a point against Spurs. That doesn't really count. That should be like 0.5 on the table. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's not a real win.
It's not a real. Well, it's certainly not a real win.
Yeah,
0-0 is a draw.
Yeah. It's not even a real draw.
If anything, if it's 0-0, no one should get a point. Do you reckon?
Interesting.
Okay, yeah.
I like. Yeah, I'll have to think about that.
Okay, how about this? 0-0, no team gets a point. But if it's a draw above 3 goals, both teams get 2 points.
I like the way you're thinking about this.
Yeah. And if you win above 5-0, you start getting more points. So like 5-0 is 4 points.
Like you get a bonus point.
A bonus point for
like in rugby,
5 goals. Yeah.
Yeah. You get 4 points.
Yeah, we definitely need to make football more like rugby.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's just make it really dumb.
And you can pick it up.
Yeah.
What actually one thing from rugby I would like to bring into football is respect for referees. Honestly, the childish cheek that footballers get away with in terms of...
But they're wrong all the time.
Yeah, I know. I don't care.
But I would.
Yeah, of course you would, but they're not... Like, the people down at the indoor stadium we play at aren't professionals. And, often they're not good. Fair enough. Getting paid $10 a game, you're bound to not be good sometimes.
Sure, yeah.
But what I see is 15 burly men going, "Yes, sir," to some scrawny little guy showing him yellow card for a sin bin.
Yeah.
And I just respect it all the time. I know it's not going to happen, and I know it's certainly not going to happen overnight, but I would like that in general.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, just because they're wrong, like, footballers are wrong as well.
Yeah, but like, I want to get in the ref's head. Like, you know,
I don't
want to trick him.
I don't want to get in the ref's head.
No,
I want to get in my...
You want to be biased.
I want to...
So you win.
I want him to be biased so I win.
Yeah.
No,
you want to influence him.
No, I want to influence the game by my skill.
Yeah, your skill of manipulation.
No, manipulation is not a football trait.
Oh, it so is. Are you kidding me? What do you think diving is?
Yeah, precisely. I don't want people to dive.
Well, yeah, they're gonna.
We can't just ban Italy.
Yeah. It's not just Italy.
No, I know it's not Italy.
It's like every player. So
yeah, but we can't ban every player. We can't ban every player, and we can't ban...
yeah, but you can make a rule that bans the action, right?
Yeah.
But, which they have done.
Yeah.
Look, as long as you can still get away with diving, people are going to argue with the ref.
Hard to argue that, I suppose. Yeah, anyway, so what about the What about the matches? Yeah, Jota scored 2 and 1. His goal in the
goal.
Everton game.
Yeah.
The turn, first of all, he just about took Alan's shorts off, and then the finish into the near post top bin. It's what you love to see.
Oh yeah, and it was with his the outside of his foot as well, right?
Outside of left foot.
Yeah, outside.
Just
creamy.
Get in there.
Yeah, that's very nice.
And of course, I think Salah. God, there's a new stat every week, and it's shit every week.
Yeah, they're all shit unless they're XG.
So here's a shit stat.
Yeah.
Mo Salah is the first Liverpool player to score or assist in 7 straight away games.
Okay. Yeah.
Again, shit stat.
Well, it created a goal in 7 away. Yeah. In a row. Yeah.
And when I say a shit stat, I mean, like, the performance is amazing. Obviously, it's Mo Salah. But the stat itself is ridiculous. It just doesn't. You know what I mean? Doesn't like 7 games. Okay. Yeah, so he's scored a couple. Far out, even the second one today against Everton, defending, he defended from the front. He took the ball and then just ran halfway up the pitch and scored.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Like that, it was amazing how he was only like not even a foot ahead of those defenders for the entire length of the pitch. They just couldn't close that tiny little distance that whole time.
He's so fast.
But with the ball, like he runs at the same speed with the ball as without.
If anything, he's faster.
So that, all 3 of their defenders are just like right on his tail the whole time, and he has enough time to break away and shoot.
Into the very corner.
Mm. Yeah, just...
Do you think Pickford should have done better with that one?
Definitely, yeah.
He probably couldn't have done much better with the first one, though.
Yeah.
He was positioned just about...
Demoralised.
Deserved as well. Like, after last season's game, we kicked the shit out of one of our players.
Yeah, true.
To be honest, he's lucky that when Van Dijk didn't come up for a corner, he didn't just
punch from the face.
Clock him.
Yeah.
And it would have been Henderson getting the winner in that game, the one from last season. And of course, he opened the scoring today. So, always good to see. Good to see. I love Henderson when he scores because I said it before, he just looks furious.
Yeah, and what a goal. Like, it was outside the box, wasn't it?
Just.
Yeah. Very, very great holding midfielder's goal,
Yeah. Well, just... It's like he saw Thiago's couple of goals in the last few games and thought, I'm getting in on this.
Well, I think all of your midfielders, like Cater as well, they're all just like...
Bang.
Oh, damn, is that what I have to do to actually play? Like...
Yeah, well, it's like, if I pass the ball to Mo, I might get an assist, but I kind of want to score.
Yeah. So, like, it's they have to score to, like, maintain their place in the midfield. Like, it reminds me of, like, how with Chelsea, when, like, Timo Werner stopped being unable to score, it was like every other player in the team was like, shit, guys, we all better learn how to shoot.
Because if I finish on less goals than Timo Werner, God, people are going to think I'm shit.
It's like the goal's got to come from somewhere, guys, and it's not going to be him, all right?
He's going to score a few.
Yeah.
No, to be fair to him, he's not been laughably bad this season. He's just been ordinary.
Well, it's because he hadn't played. It was Lukaku every game, and then he'd play like a couple of minutes.
He scored a few.
Yeah, but
Yeah, it's not...
But again, like, it's Chelsea... Oh, yeah, like what I was saying to you just before we started recording. Chelsea, again, just like last season, Chelsea's goals are incredibly spread out. Literally every player in their first team squad has scored, except for the 3 goalkeepers. So...
They'll get one.
Yeah. So, because their defenders are scoring an outrageous amount of goals.
Do you do that on, like, Football Manager? Like, at the end of the season, say you've won the league with a couple of games to go, stick your goalkeeper on penalties.
Oh, sure. Well, imagine, yeah, I'll do whatever.
I'll do whatever.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'll sign 10 goalkeepers and play them all up front.
So, yeah, how about... Man City.
Man City third. So, again, a team like West Ham, in form, flying high, they come to the Etihad, and for most of the game, they just held at bay. City keep the ball. They play in their own. They play in West Ham's half.
Yeah, well,
I mean, it took a while to break them down as well.
City may lack a number 9 this season, but they seems to not matter because
their goals come from everywhere as well.
Yes, yeah, they were right up there too. 17 goal scorers or something. Yeah. So, but when you look at their XG, which is my new favorite stat, right? But there's an XG for expected chances conceded, basically. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, so Man City have the lowest amount of chances created against them in Europe. So
wow.
So that's the thing. It's harder to create a clear cut chance.
Do you remember where Chelsea were on that?
They were up there too.
Insanely low.
But yeah. So again, just tactical defensive stability. So, but Man City they were a lot higher, significantly higher. So. And that's what it takes to beat West Ham, because West Ham are a very tenacious team that just kind of come at you and wear you down. And
West Ham have a thing where they'll score on the half chances.
Yeah.
They'll like...
They have good finishers.
Yeah, they have good finishers. Benrahma, Fornals, Antonio.
Yeah.
Big physical guys. Yeah, Jared Bowen. All of their guys throw it about and they'll create half chances from just being sort of bastards in the box. They'll be rough and tumble and they'll make chances. Well, which is kind of how they beat Liverpool, because we excluded. How would you say? We decided not to play tough. We let them play tough on us, and it made 3 goals.
Well, their midfield's hard work, man. You got Declan Rice and Thomas Suchek in there. Like, that's a lot of work, man.
Beef.
Already, you've got it. Yeah, those guys are tough as, and they'll run the whole game.
Rump steak.
Yeah, so it's West Ham only just lost their first game, which was Wolves last week or whatever, and so they're on a hell of a streak. And in terms of like XG and stuff like that, they're fourth. They were fourth, so in the table they're what? Just
in the real table.
Yeah,
I think they're fifth.
Yeah, fifth. So,
Fourth? Fifth?
But they're pretty close. So City won that, but it was a close game.
Yeah, and then today they played Aston Villa.
Yep, they played Stevie G, yeah.
So Stevie G's got his first loss. Only just, though.
Well, I mean, that's after his first win. So it's only because it's only a second game, so...
No, I think he's had 3 or 4 now.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
It's certainly not second, but... Either way, first loss. So commiserations, Stevie. But he can't really hang his head too low, because the 2 goals that City scored, absolute blinders.
That Bernardo Silva goal was unbelievable. What a finish.
Look, there is already some candidates for goal of the season. But if you like counterattacks and volleys, this is... It's not even in the corner.
Yeah,
the goal is he doesn't kick the ball close. It's nearly at the goalkeeper.
But it's like it's high, like it's right in that like awkward height. Like
look, you don't need to tell me about goalkeeping at awkward heights.
Close to the crossbar, Yeah. So and he just kicks the shit out of it. So it's always a good move.
Yeah. We're always endorse kicking the shit out of your shot.
Yeah, so actually that's a good transition there anyway. So because last week was Stevie G's first win, right? And he took on Vieira.
Yeah,
so that's kind of like throwback, like
that's
interesting. You're like,
look.
See, now Lampard needs to be back in one of these.
Yeah,
teams.
I don't care who Lampard.
Just get the gang back together.
John Terry and Rooney, just. Every Premier League team should be married.
Jamie Carragher and Michael Keane have teams.
Michael Keane. Roy Keane.
Roy Keane, yes.
And Robbie Keane.
Yeah.
And the band Keane. They should just join together into one sort of super person.
Keane Army.
Yeah. They should manage Everton, because, they might be getting... Look, again, like I said, not a fan of sacking a guy after the first season. But Rafa's not doing shit hot.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. True. But good start for Stevie though, and it's to beat Vieira, that's good. I think because Crystal Palace have been such a dangerous team, man. They're right up there in like creating chances as well. They're a very dangerous team.
Well, they had Roy Hodgson at the helm for quite a time. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. Maybe 4 seasons, 3-4 seasons. And maybe it got a bit stale. He retired, sure. Bring in someone fresh and new, and it changes. Like I'm not saying the results are miles better. They're a little better, but
this season they're really good. Vieira's phenomenal coach.
Yeah, it's a great start.
I mean, look at Benteke. That's all I can say. Like
he scored some goals.
And that, he's back playing like he was at Villa.
That's interesting. Yeah. It's interesting how some players sort of make that jump. Like I don't ever think we should have signed Christian Benteke, Liverpool.
Oh, I mean, at the time it made sense.
At the time, it made sense for him to make a jump to a bigger club, perhaps. He deserved it based on his form, but I'm saying that Liverpool should not have been that club. We should not have made that move. We should have picked someone else who was doing that, who was more to our style.
But that's just hindsight. I guess.
Yeah, I definitely said it at the time. Many people said it at the time, but you know what? If I'd said it at the time and been wrong...
But, I mean, you also signed Balotelli in that same...
Yeah, and I didn't think we should have done that.
Yeah, but... Yeah. Yeah, I suppose, you can't always get the 6 signings, Sometimes you just got to get...
Balotelli, Bellamy, Benteke. Yeah. Don't sign forwards who begin with B.
Are you sure there's none?
I'm not sure at all.
Buendia?
Buendia would be alright.
Yeah. No, Bernardo Silva.
Okay, fair enough. After we'll have him.
Yeah.
On a free.
Yeah, but it's interesting. One day, maybe every manager in the Premier League will be a
former Premier League player. Well, that'd be awesome.
So...
Do you think, again, I know we're going a little bit from the path, but do you think that should be a requirement?
What? Oh, what?
Like
you have to be a former player? Or...
Yeah. It seems quite restrictive, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, because most managers, maybe they were players, but they were really bad.
Not many of the top...
Their football brain was too heavy. They had no balance to play football.
That's why Andrea Pirlo's head is so big.
Yeah. I want to...
You got the stats machine up.
Yeah, I'm just... Okay, so Villa... Oh, no, maybe he has had 2 wins. Yeah. I think... So Norwich have secured a point today against Newcastle.
Newcastle will be annoyed at that. To be fair,
because they have still not won a game.
No, well, they've won a game.
No, they have not.
This season.
They have not won a game this season.
Are you fucking kidding me?
They have not won one game. They've had 7 draws and 7 losses.
Well.
Yeah. And so Eddie Howe also has not had a win yet. He's only been there 3 games or something. But yeah, they still do not have a win. Even that's what I'm saying. Even Norwich has a win.
Took a point.
They got a win. They got
two, don't they?
They
2 wins.
Oh, they have 2 wins. Yeah. Oh no, sorry. It was Burnley who picked up their first win.
Oh, goodness me.
And
look, we hype the Premier League as the best in the world, and I do think that's true. And then it gets down to 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, and some of it is fucking dross.
Well, sort of. I think it's probably better than some other leagues, but
Yeah.
Don't you think it would be... Imagine being
Newcastle.
a $200 million transfer budget team in the Championship.
Well, if they make all those signings in January and still...
They'll probably get relegated.
And still get relegated?
Well, trying to... How many signings are we talking about here? Like, the more signings you make, the harder it is to integrate.
Yes.
It's not looking good.
It will be so funny. Like, I don't mean on the fans. I don't mean to tread on Geordies everywhere, because that's mean. I mean, I'm a mean person, but fuck it. But it would just be funny, wouldn't it? Come on.
Yeah.
How can you not find that funny?
Yeah.
They've got this, they've turned on the money train.
Well, they haven't actually yet. They haven't had a chance to spend
fine. The money
yet.
train is at the station.
Yeah. Well, because it'll be interesting, like, what they can actually get in January. Because if they're still last, like, people will be like, no.
Imagine if they still haven't won, the window opens and they just try to sign, whoever it is. Coutinho, MTD, bargain basement, Barcelona players who they're trying to get rid of, lower Premier League players who are looking for a game. And they're just like, no, you're all right.
But I suppose if they did get relegated, they could just focus on building up the facilities, invest in the facilities.
Yeah.
Invest in the coaching staff.
They definitely need to do that.
Yeah. And then, because to be fair, if they do go down, they would probably come straight back up, because that's what they usually do. So.
Yeah, sign Mitrovic. Sign Metro
and
Pookie on loan.
Up front together.
100
goals.
4-4-2. Newcastle will win every game.
They get signed Ivan Toney as well, and that's your front three.
Well, no, because he'll be playing for Brentford in the Premier League.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, but I'm saying gods of the Championship,
Yeah. But, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
So, but they can't even beat 19th at home.
Yeah, but they're 20th.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, it's actually representative of where they are. They're actually the worst team.
It's stunning. Like, in your head, you hear Newcastle and you kind of go, oh, they'll struggle, but they'll survive.
Yeah, right.
You know
exactly,
what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's... You look up the table, Norwich, Burnley, Watford, Leeds.
At this rate, every one of those teams is going to beat them.
They're not better than those teams.
They have a chance of beating those teams.
They may not be worse by a lot, but they're not better.
Yeah, if anything, the bottom three probably is what it is now. Burnley, Norwich, Newcastle. Because if Watford are picking up points, man, they look good with Ranieri, so...
Yeah.
Well, they didn't pick up any points in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, but they played Leicester away, and then against the league leaders, who put two goals on them. We failed to mention that Emmanuel Dennis scored in the Reece James zone.
Oh yeah, sure, yeah.
But
slotted it, no problem. Mate.
Yeah, it was.
When he shot that, the players were like, the look on the Chelsea players were like,
is he allowed to do that?
Yeah, can you do that? Like, what happened? Like,
hang on, no, I don't think you understand. We're Chelsea.
Yeah, they were just like, what the fuck was that? Like,
yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah. So,
yeah, Watford, I don't think will have a problem staying up. And when you look at the team in 17th and say, I don't think they'll have a problem staying up.
Yeah, exactly.
Legitimately, what do we do about the other three teams below them?
I would actually say the only other teams that it's possible is Southampton.
Southampton,
but they'll probably still scrape through. That's the thing, and then Leeds. Leeds have been pretty bad, but they do have quality. So
the thing is, Leeds have been bad based on what we saw from them last season. They look tired.
If they can recapture last season, that's it. They'll be fine. So it's not. It's almost looking like it's already decided. Like,
top 3 and bottom 3 decided. Just what order?
yeah, best league ever.
Oh, it's the best relegation zone the league's ever seen. Oh, love this league. I know who's going to go down in November.
Yeah. So we sort of jumped around a bit there. But,
Yeah, it was brilliant. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we're on a good. There's a good stream of consciousness kind of thing going.
Stream of unconsciousness.
Yeah. So, I suppose we could talk about Spurs. Antonio Conte. So now we have seen a few matches, and it's looked all right. All right.
Yeah. Well, their one against Burnley got postponed. It was
because the snow.
Snow.
Yeah.
I saw some tweet from some guy. I think he lives in the States, but he's Spurs fan. He's like, I travelled from
America. Yes, America.
America, flew into London, and then drove up to Burnley. It's the things you do for. I'm going to do all of this because I love my team. And then, 2 hours later, you see him tweet, and it's just like, I think it's just the word "fuck."
Yeah. And then, a couple of hours later, he tweets and he's hanging out with Ledley King because the fans responded. They were like, "Oh, we love you, bro. Like, you've got tickets to the next match." Like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, they went hundies, and so they were like, one of them, no shit, they were like, "Yo, me and Ledley King are hanging out at this bar. Come hang with us." Like,
me and Ledley King.
Yeah, or some shit like that. It was amazing. So that's pretty cool. Like, but it's funny that we're seeing a game postponed for snow. Like, I thought we were like beyond that, right? Don't they have? Usually the pitches have drainage and it's heated underneath the grass.
You overestimate Burnley.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
As a town.
Is it just Burnley is just not there yet?
Burnley is in about 1980.
I guess, yeah. So, but it's just
I
funny,
don't mean the club either. I mean...
Yeah, it's just, this is professional, football. So it's funny that, it's getting snowed off.
Sorry, Burnley. Yeah.
Because Man City played on and they won in the snow. Like the weekend match, yeah. West Ham, yeah. What was that?
Yeah, that was... Yeah, well, yeah. Look, as soon as you start getting into the north, the snow doesn't give up in December. It's not... It's difficult.
Yeah.
But yeah, pitch drainage, and then you've got to, it's not a lawnmower, but it kind of looks like it's basically a big shovel that looks like a lawnmower, and they've got to make sure you can see the lines. But if the snow falls that fast, what do you do?
Yeah, well, like I was saying, even now the pitches are heated, so the snow just melts. But I don't know, whatever, But back to Conte. So he's had a win or so, but mostly kind of draws and
a few draws. They managed to let's say royally fuck it up their game in the Europa Conference League.
Oh, true.
Against a team who I've never heard of.
Yeah,
I think they're still probably going to qualify. Because their last game, I think, is a team with 0 points.
Yeah, right.
But they're going to have to.
Congratulations on qualifying for the whatever tournament.
Yeah. You're in the Nations League.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, the Euronation League. That's basically what I see. Yeah.
Tottenham. That's not a nation.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
It's funny because I was watching. I've seen some. It was funny in the Spurs match last week where the Spurs fans are just booing the players now. It was half time. It was 0-0, and fans came out and just booed Spurs.
Again, I don't.
And then they won.
Again, I don't like that. Yeah.
No, but so what? I'm borrowing this from Ian Edwards, but he said the fans have realised that that's how they get what they want. So they boo Nuno, they get a better coach, and they boo the team, and they actually fucking win.
They get a better team.
So, like, this is just classic, conditioning.
Yeah. So maybe the Spurs fans should be even more specific. If they want, say, Eric Dyer off the team, they should only boo when he's on the ball. I mean, I've got nothing personal against Eric Dyer. I enjoyed when he ran into the crowd to stop that guy beating up his brother. Yeah. That was quite enjoyable.
Legit. Well, I like it when he plays too, because he's not playing for us.
Yep. Hard to argue. But yeah, I saw some quote from Conte, which was like, it was effectively, it's worse here than what I thought. Spurs are a long way away.
Oh, yeah, because, dude, that's why I bring this up, because he did not react positively to the booing. He was very upset. Like, he's a very emotional, animated
He's Italian.
Yeah, exactly. And he was...
Did he dive?
Well, maybe, yeah. Like, he was not happy. Like, that's... And if you're Conte, would you accept that? You'd be like, no, I'm fucking Antonio Conte. Like, you don't boo me. I'm here to fix your shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Dead right. Look.
Ungrateful.
I think the fans are justified in booing in certain situations. Just your team being a bit average this year is
your Spurs.
Yeah. Right? Like, you made a Champions League final. Okay, fine. You probably even deserve to be there.
They're like a team that got like a big ego for nailing a spelling test, and now they're just ever since then they're like, we're better than this.
To be fair, most people I know couldn't spell Tottenham.
Well, none of the players could. Like,
yeah. Most of them are foreign. I mean, Harry Kane certainly couldn't spell Tottenham.
He basically sounds foreign. Like,
yeah. Harry Kane speaking in it. Maybe they should have just pushed Harry Kane round the pitch, and his drool would have dissolved the snow.
He could shovel it all into his gaping mouth.
Sorry, Harry. We've been quite rude this podcast, haven't we? Just against all sorts of people.
Someone has to be,
Yeah, well, if you want kindness, go to another podcast. Seriously, that's just the lesson that we have to concede.
So, I suppose the only other one to really talk about is, I think, Wolves have looked a little bit better. Getting 2 points out of the
2 points.
2-0 draws.
Well, again, they've drawn with Norwich and Burnley as well. What do you...
Yeah.
Like... Okay, so they're sitting a little further up.
Well, I bring it up because last week they were the ones that broke West Ham's streak. So they were...
Oh, that week before...
Yeah.
Yeah, last podcast.
Yeah. So... But now too, they haven't lost, but they're good. I think that maybe they have a tactical similarity to City, at least in the amount they press. So they are prepared for a team like West Ham because they press hard, but they just having trouble scoring because Jimenez has been back in the team. He just hasn't looked the same.
You feel for it, don't you? You feel for Wolves. You feel for him. You feel
And a couple of their forwards didn't really work out in the end. Like they sold their best forward, right, which was Diego Jota. So and then now they have Podence and actually Pedro Neto is really good.
They changed the goalkeeper as well.
Jose Sa.
Yeah, Rui Patricio left, and
Jose Sa, who's also still a very good goalkeeper.
Jose Sa's pretty good. Yeah. I'm pretty sure he's got an assist this season.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Which is awesome. You're looking at the table. I started from the bottom looking for Wolves, and then I realised
they're in sixth.
They're in sixth.
So,
which does say one thing. Well, it says that sort of fourth through ninth is very congested and very up for grabs. But the right team has to sort of get their consistency up. The problem with all of those teams, aside from maybe West Ham, is consistency. For in a number of regions of the pitch or in different ways, but none of them are consistent. It's a win here and then a loss, and then you can't rely that Wolves will win the next game.
Well,
nor Spurs.
Yeah, well, but 21 points. It's pretty good for Wolves, man. That's
no lie, man.
Well, yeah, that's really good. So, and they're all good. But that made me realise we actually have not talked about Arsenal.
No, we've not.
Which was not on purpose. Just so.
No. But this week we can. I mean, you can only beat what's put in front of you, right? The Magpies. So they beat them.
Yeah, so Arsenal beat last place, yeah. And now everyone's like, Arsenal is the best team in the world.
Well, look, again, we kind of touched on it last year. I'm sure we said it last year as well. Last week, when Innes was here. You take heart from having a good attitude in a loss, and you go forward, and you continue that attitude into a team who you should beat. And then you beat them. Fine. Yeah. What do you want me to say?
Well, yeah. Again, just my theory is, even though they're sitting fifth, they're not that good. I think, we talked about this before. Ramsdale is just in unbelievable form.
Well, in quite a number of their recent games, he's either won man of the match or been voted
the difference at least.
Yeah. Well, that's amongst their stats, right? Like they concede quite a number of chances. But the goalkeeper, even against Liverpool, I seem to remember he, if it weren't for him, we could have had more than 4.
Because when you look at them from this perspective, I've just
what's that stat you've highlighted?
Yeah, so that's XG, right? So when we look at you can reorder the table on this website called FB Ref, referee. FB Ref, they give you all these stats, and you can reorder the table in terms of XG, so expected goals, and that's calculated by the kind of shots you're taking, where all the players are when you take a shot. It calculates this crazy algorithm to tell you how good you are. And it's kind of like, when sometimes when you watch a game, you watch the full 90 minutes and the result's whatever, 2-1. But you watch the game and you were like, nah, man, the goals don't reflect.
That could have been 2-5.
Yeah, exactly.
Because the team with one.
Yeah, because if the goalkeeper has a blinder and you just can't score.
Happens.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what XG is kind of supposed to control for.
So
when we reorder the table in terms of XG, Arsenal are 15th.
Right.
So that means they're the 15th team at creating good chances.
Goal scoring chances.
Yeah. So
are Newcastle still relegated by this?
No. Actually, no. They are. They just make it to 17th. Mm-hmm. But bottom is actually Villa.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting.
But no, but it makes complete sense when you think about it. Danny Ings is not scoring. Wendy is not scoring. They are really struggling. And Danny Ings is a player where he just needs the right chance to score.
Well, they've got clinical players up there, but they're not creating a lot of chances.
Yes.
So that if they create more chances, they'll be okay.
And they obviously also just lost probably the largest contributor to XG in their entire team.
Yeah.
So they haven't replaced that. They've replaced that. They split Grealish into 3 parts basically. And So Aston Villa actually really struggling down there, and then Spurs are down there too. So Spurs are relegated in terms of XG.
Yeah.
But
no creativity.
Oh, but bear in mind that these are not So this is not including defence, right? So this is only in terms of attack. So
Yeah.
the worst attacking team is Aston Villa. But then the up the top, it's the same. So basically, it's Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, respectively, in terms of creating chances. And that makes total sense because these teams are just
monsters.
dominating. And then West Ham in fourth. So it's... Yeah, Arsenal are secretly bad. It just hasn't... they've been kind of getting away with it lately. I think when you consider that everyone is kind of celebrating at the moment, like, Arteta's finally figured it out. Like, that's literally the attitude of everyone, but they're not realising that they can't see the forest through the trees. Like, it's just... Yeah, I think it's a little early to be sounding that horn.
Yeah, I agree, but at the same time, this season can be just a reset for Arsenal, and they need it to be that. They need it to be that because they don't have European football, and they don't have the riches that they've had in the past to sign whoever the hell they want. They've got to sign, these kind of unknown guys. They've got to sign Tavares. They've got to sign Tomiyasu, and I know they signed Ben White for quite a bit, but he came from Brighton, from one of the less.
He's English. He's going to cost a fortune.
They've got to sign less sexy players, but play sexy football.
Yeah. But we'll see because next week they will be taking on Everton, the team that you've sunk in this week.
Yeah. But tomorrow morning they'll be playing your boys.
Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. I've skipped ahead. Yeah.
So
that's what I was supposed to say. This match, so because of the day that we do this podcast, there's actually still 2 more games to go when there's a midweek. So we still have Spurs versus Brentford, and then Manchester United versus Arsenal. So
again, Spurs Brentford is not a given. Spurs.
Conte needs to win this, man. He needs to be winning these games. This is actually a challenge.
He needs to get his XG up.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well, Spurs are fucking terrible. So yeah. Well, that's the thing. So us versus Arsenal, I think I'm pretty hopeful on this because we put in a hell of a shift against Chelsea. So we've got it. We've got this new manager bounce, even though we don't. I don't know. It's not.
Call it what you want.
It doesn't feel like it yet.
No.
So I think we're in a better position than Arsenal in this match. Arsenal are going to be confident and probably not. They shouldn't be. Yeah,
I think. Look, they have reason to have heart. They have reason to think that they can to take this game to United. I can see quite a few goals, despite what you've just said about Arsenal's XG, because in terms of the defensive side of that, United have also been a bit further down, right? Haven't they?
I'll show you. Yeah. So
So this is expected goals
in terms of
conceded.
Goals. They call it goals against.
Okay.
So in this case, Arsenal are 14th.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit better, but we are actually 16th. So for goal, good chances created against us. That's what it's supposed to mean. So, that is our problem. We have been leaky at the back, and I mean, attacking wise, we're fine. We are in 5th. We are creating chances, and that's why Ronaldo's scoring all our goals. And so. But that's the thing. We have, Ronaldo was basically rested for the Chelsea game. He probably actually should have played the whole game.
Maybe.
And because that's a big game. He might have made the difference. He'd also never scored against Chelsea in the Premier League.
Really?
The only time he scored against Chelsea was in the Champions League final. Yeah. But he had not scored in the Premier League against Chelsea either. So I think that's why he was very angry at the end and stormed off down the tunnel. Because everyone was going on about that at the end of the match.
Well,
but whatever. He wants to win.
That's so needless. It's so needless to concentrate on that sort of thing. It's like, we know who Cristiano Ronaldo is. We know he throws a bit of a strop when he doesn't sort of get his perfect way.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he wanted to win. Like, and that's good. Like, if you're pissed off that we didn't win that match, then that's good because we should have.
Yeah.
That penalty was horseshit. Get back onto this.
Stop it.
Yeah.
It's not 45 minutes ago.
Yeah, but anyway, so I fancy our chances on this one. We have to come into this confident, and Arsenal, if anything, are probably too confident, and that's what I want to see us exploit. They're going to come to United, and they're going to fucking lose.
Okay. Well, while we're still talking about United, your game next week. Who's that?
So yeah, and so the preview for the weekend. So that's the thing. We've got two midweek games to go, and then the weekend by the time we actually have another podcast. So this weekend we will play Crystal Palace as well. So our first match against Vieira.
So you play Arsenal, and then you play an Arsenal legend.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, we Arsenal double there.
So yeah, hopefully we can hurt Arsenal twice as much.
Yeah, both at home. You've really got to be hoping for 6 points there. Really.
Yeah, definitely.
I know Arsenal are on a upswing ish, I guess. But you should probably win that.
Yeah.
And you should really win the Palace game.
The only thing that may cause a problem is that if Rangnick has come in and just immediately changed everything,
topsy-turvied.
Yeah, maybe something like that could throw us off if our tactics radically shift. But I actually don't know if that will be the case. I think
bit by bit.
Yeah, I think because some are even saying that Rangnick actually did the tactics for the Chelsea game before he even signed.
Yeah. Carrick was questioned about that immediately after the game, and he was like, "No, shut up."
Okay. Yeah, right.
He didn't say those words, but
that's what I'm saying.
In his, you can tell from his sort of tone and his body language that he basically replied, "Fuck off, journalist."
Yeah, he's like, "I'm good, I swear." Yeah.
Excuse me, I'm Michael Carrick.
Yeah, Michael Carrick's like, yeah. So okay, fair enough. Yeah, so barring any radical tactical shift, which I don't necessarily think will happen, it may even be that Carrick was sort of, they probably told Carrick this is the guy we're going to get. So, do something like that.
Do what he would do. Go on Football Manager, add him to United, press auto, and just whatever that was, do it.
So that's it. I hope that we're going to sort of build off what Carrick did and combine that with Rangnick's philosophy and go forward with that. And if that's the case, we may do very well. So we may redeem ourselves this season and get fourth, because that's kind of all that's left. So yeah. And then Crystal Palace, got to win that.
So we've got a very interesting one off the top of the first cab off the rank. West Ham hosting the league leaders, Chelsea.
So, yep, this is another big test. Chelsea has all the right attributes to take on West Ham, but West Ham snagged points from Liverpool and many other and United, and so it's dangerous team. Every time West Ham is a new annoyance. It's another gadfly on the beast that is the Premier League.
What an odd thing to say.
Yeah.
Not wrong, but still odd.
Yeah.
Do you think that this is another game where Moyes will sort of ask his players to throw a few elbows and a few shoulders?
Oh, I would.
Absolutely. Well, first of all, yes.
It's a derby, so I mean.
Yeah. I mean, not every London game is a derby.
It kind of, but local,
Local-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So there's that. And then there's the fact that, if West Ham lose against Chelsea, no one really cares.
Yeah.
Right. But if West Ham beat Chelsea, or even take a point, win a point, whatever,
Well, actually, good point, because like I'm saying, fourth is about all that's left. But that's not true for the top three. All three positions are undecided. It's going to be those three, but I don't know what the order's going to be.
Which is exactly right.
Yeah.
Like, games against West Ham away in this sort of form are extremely important because they're relentless at the moment.
They need every point with Liverpool scoring 4 goals a game and Bernardo Silva
volleying,
volleys.
banging in volleys from fucking forever away.
Just being insanely good.
Yeah.
So, it's...
This is a Football Friends exclusive. Bernardo Silva is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. After riding the bench so much last season, it's like Pep was, oh yeah.
He's like, oh, put me on, I'm good.
That's the other thing. I got into an argument in a comment section.
Great.
As you do.
First of all,
and no, it was because of a fucking shitty Carrick take when he was like, he's like Manchester United. I can't do it. He's like,
do it in your voice.
Manchester United have like signed Ronaldo to win the league, and like that's kind of what he's saying. He's like, you don't sign a 36-year-old to not win the league. I'm going Irish, but like he had this big like wank.
That's right. Roy Keane was in the room.
Yeah, they had a massive argument.
I believe it.
It was great. It was a good one.
Did Roy Keane argue with someone?
Yeah.
No.
Well, Roy Keane and Carrick, the rivalry is still
it's still going there.
Yeah. So
they'll be buried next to each other just so they can carry on.
So like I got into this argument like everyone was saying like, we signed Ronaldo to win the league, and it was like we were second last season, so you add Ronaldo, Varane, and Sancho. The minimum we expect is to win the league. And admittedly, I was kind of saying that at the start of the season. I was like, we have no excuse. But I was blunt, because when you think about it, City still have better players on their bench than most fucking teams have in their starting 11. So,
yeah,
Bernardo Silva may end up on the bench, but he is still that guy who scored that insane fucking volley today.
Yeah.
And that's what City has that the other teams don't. Still. So, in reality...
Even Liverpool and Chelsea.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't have it.
My argument was, we didn't sign Ronaldo, Varane, and Sancho to win the league. We signed Ronaldo, Varane, and Sancho
to keep up.
To survive. Yeah. To stay in the fucking top 4.
Yeah.
Because that's how like far we were behind the other 3 teams.
Yeah.
So, in terms of depth.
Yeah.
Because that's what this really was. This was adding depth. We already had the positions, and then we add better ones, and the ones we had become our depth,
Yeah.
So, City's always going to be a worry when they have that kind
of... £1 billion.
Yeah.
So, and one of the best coaches in the world.
Yeah, definitely. So that's the thing.
And they only have to play Watford this week.
Yeah, and they'll that's another easy win for them, no problem. Another 3 points there, and then same. You guys, you're going to take on Wolves.
Yeah, we go to Wolverhampton, and again, Wolverhampton have not scored in the last 2 games. We need to win. We need to win, and we don't need to score 4 goals to do it. 2 will probably do. Fine. Just Mo. Just remember, if it takes me converting to Islam for you to sign again, I will do it. The offer's still there.
Yeah. But, well, I don't know. I don't see why he would leave. There's no better option. Except for the return to Chelsea.
Oh my God.
No,
don't make me sick.
No, it wouldn't happen. That'd be so funny. But no, yeah. So, actually, we should run through this quick because we haven't talked about the Ballon d'Or. We should do that next.
All right, let's.
So yeah, the rest of the matches are we've got Newcastle taking on Burnley. So again,
0-0.
Again, they're taking on another one of these relegation teams.
Got to win.
And yeah, again, you got to fucking win this Newcastle. Like, if you have any fucking hope, you got to beat the other team that actually has a win. You still don't have one, and they do. So get a win.
Yeah.
Southampton are going to take on Brighton.
Against
that could be another
Southampton.
draw.
Yeah, there could be another 0-0. I mean, Southampton obviously they took the lead twice against Leicester today, and Leicester dug it out. Southampton are not as dire as some of the other teams in the league.
They look like they'll be okay. They have some players and things like that.
Brighton do not concede very many.
Mm-hmm.
They're very staunch at the back. In fact, I'd say on your XG,
they're in the middle. They're like mid-table. They're like
but
eighth or something.
Considering that they have basically survived relegation twice in a row, quite closely.
Yeah, they are annoying.
That's an improvement, and that is I'll agree. Annoying is right. And then the ones Leeds, Brentford, again, two newly relegated, relatively newly promoted teams.
Leeds are struggling. Brentford can capitalise. So they still look good.
Yeah, probably high score draw.
Yeah,
that's what I'm
saying. There's
saying.
been a lot of draws. There's been a lot of draws this week.
Yeah, 1 point.
All of these games. Yeah. So then Spurs
Norwich.
Better fucking win that.
If you don't beat.
Oh, he should be fired.
You know. Yeah, have Rangnick manage them as well.
Yeah.
Just drive from North London to Manchester every day.
Yeah. So, Conte's got to win. He's got to prove something. That's it. Well, yeah. Let's see what you got.
And then we've got a meeting, a re-meeting. Stevie G to
to see Brendo
to Brandy Baby.
Yeah. It's quite weird, isn't it?
The man who effectively ended his Liverpool career.
Yeah, true. Yeah. So, it's no grudge there, eh? Like, no.
I'm sure he doesn't.
But interesting nonetheless. This is a good test for Stevie G.
I was coming into this under the impression that sort of Leicester are sort of like a Liverpool light, right? They score a lot of goals. They also concede a few goals, and because.
But they're more, for the sake of you, right, go for it.
Yeah.
I won't be a dick this time, go for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's just about it. Like, in my head, before I looked at the table, they were not as high up as I thought they were, in this similar vein to what I was thinking about Wolves. It's like, how did they get up there? Like, I'm sure they've lost more games than that, but they haven't. I don't know, and then obviously Villa struggled to create chances as we demonstrated before.
But that's it. Hopefully CVG's going to turn that around. It seems to,
Yeah. I mean, obviously I like both of those guys.
Probably should be quite a good game.
Probably. And then the last one is Everton Arsenal.
Yeah. So we did talk about it just briefly. Arsenal are a paper tiger, and
wow.
That's a bit harsh, but we'll see. Everton are not in good form.
What does that make Rafa Benitez?
Again, I've never liked Rafa, so...
You've never liked Rafa Benitez?
No.
What about you sort of look at him and think he's like a fat Spanish waiter?
That's why I don't like him.
But fat Spanish waiters are adorable.
No, I don't know. This doesn't... It grinds my gears. But anyway, Everton not in good form. Arsenal probably should win this. If they don't, that's probably
Well, that's probably a bad sign.
Yeah.
They need to stack up a couple goals.
Yeah. Right. So
you want to do Ballon d'Or real quick.
So last closing thoughts on the Ballon d'Or, yeah. That's just because that's just been, and of course Messi won it, and so did some lady. I don't know.
Some lady. She plays for Barcelona.
Yeah. And I'm sure she's great, but
good lord.
I'm sorry, I don't watch that sport.
No, neither do I. The first time I saw it was her banging a free kick.
I don't watch Femball.
Femball. Good God.
Yeah, but...
I hope your mum doesn't listen to this.
So, no, of course not. No one listens
either
to
this. Okay, so, Pedri won the young boys one.
Yeah, definitely.
Donnarumma won the goalkeeper one.
Makes sense.
Lewandowski was given a new one. Striker of the year.
Oh. was a bit of a consolation.
Yeah, bit of a weird one.
Yeah.
And the club of the year, which is also a new one, Chelsea.
Yeah, of the calendar year, yes. I will agree with that.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. So
Messi was given his 7th one.
He's won his 7th Ballon d'Or.
From memory, second and third was Lewandowski, Jorginho. 4th, I think, was Benzema. Sixth, I can't remember who was 5th.
That's fine. But
6th was Ronaldo. 7, Mo Salah.
That's a lot of shit. Because Salah scored a fuckload of goals last season. And this year, and the start of this year. What the fuck? That's ridiculous. Juventus played like shit last season. And
see, this is what I mean. This is what I say about the Ballon d'Or every time it comes up. 1, it is voted for by journalists.
Well, yeah, so, but from what I understand, it's like 5,000 journalists.
Yeah,
that
makes it 5,000 times bullshit.
Well, I don't know. Who knows? These people definitely watch football.
I wish they'd watch more.
I don't know, but you know what I'm saying.
If anything, cancelling last year's one when Lewandowski should have been awarded that one.
What a load of BS, bro. They're just trying to fuck Lewandowski out of it.
Yeah, well, why? Yeah, why?
Well, I actually agree. We've talked about this before, but I've actually come around, and I think Lewandowski should have won it because, well, for one, even though he didn't win, the main reason Messi got it is because he scored a lot of goals and then won with Argentina.
Won the Copa.
To their first Copa America. And, we're going to ignore the fact that they actually literally started having more Copa Americas just because they were like, oh, shit, well, Messi will retire before he actually wins one.
Well, you better have one every 2 years. Oh, no, he's 34.
So now have one every year.
Next year.
They literally started having more. So that's kind of funny. But
God, he's 45. Yeah. Do one every day.
Yeah. So but good achievement for Messi. But the reality is, Bayern Munich smashed the league. And last season, their team is insane. They're such a dominating team. Even if they didn't win anything, I think Lewandowski plays for a better team. Well, he plays an integral part in a squad that is way better than what Messi plays.
He's the best player in the best team in Europe.
It's pretty close.
Question mark.
It's pretty close. Definitely better than Barcelona at the moment.
100%.
Exactly. So I think Lewandowski deserved it.
I think, Munich have broken in their last game the Bundesliga calendar year goal scoring record.
Yeah.
And
which was from the 50s when goals were free, basically.
No, to be fair, most of them are actually pretty recent.
Oh, okay.
Most of them are actually pretty recent. But also, most of them are also set by Bayern Munich.
Yeah, sure.
In other teams which Lewandowski was in. So, he's probably scored half of them. He's an absolute monster.
Yeah.
I don't think Messi had a good a season as Lewandowski, or a good a year as Lewandowski, Salah, Benzema, or even Jorginho.
Well, he scored more goals than Benzema. And scored more goals than Mo Salah.
And Jorginho.
Definitely, yeah. Well, because Jorginho only scores penalties, but
but that's the thing.
He did score a shitload of goals. It was he scored 30 goals. It was insane. So it was a really good year for goals.
Do you have to judge who, if Messi scores 25 goals in a season, that's a disappointing season by Messi standards because he's not human and he's a different level, right? But if I score 25 goals in a season, that's fucking awesome. Those two things are not the same.
No, but he even scored more goals than he normally does. He was above and beyond what he normally gets.
Okay, fair enough. So he was dragging Barcelona, kicking and screaming.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
But yeah, it should have been Lewandowski just because it should be someone else.
But that's kind of what I mean. Those votes have been given to Messi on reputation because of his name being Lionel Messi. Ronaldo has also received votes. I mean, I think it's his lowest finish ever.
Mm.
But Ronaldo's votes also were given to him because he's Cristiano Ronaldo. I think Lewandowski earned his place up there. Salah earned his place up there. Benzema and Jorginho earned their place. And to me, those were the standout players of the year. Messi he certainly wasn't number one to me.
Yeah.
Like I said, fuck off journalists.
Yeah. It's going to take a while to get over the era of Ronaldo and Messi, and that's what we're going to see.
Well, one thing I did like was I was watching the app count it down, and I think it was 14th and 13th, Bonucci and Chiellini. Inseparable on the pitch and inseparable in the countdown.
Yeah. All right, great. Well, I think maybe we should end it there anyway.
Yeah, end it there.
Yeah, it's good for another week. So, yeah, thanks for listening to the Football Friends podcast again. We will see you next week. Remember to like and subscribe and, write us a comment or something like that if you feel like that. And we'll see you next time.
Cheers. And remember, Bernardo Silva is good.
Yeah.
Bye. Oh my God.